Hey guys, and welcome back to Jurassic Room. Now, I don't know, depending on how much video time I got on here, I might upload this one really quick, maybe play Arkham Knight, I don't know. But basically, I'm trying to get as much videos as I can get out right now, and I wanted to do Jurassic Chat 20 or 39, but I like to do videos when I feel like doing them, so I have the full emotional effect, emotional for the video at least. You know what I mean? So I didn't really feel like doing it tonight, so I wanted to do something a little smaller in scale, and something I really care about at the moment right now. Because I got playthrough of Duck Dynasty 5 backing up, number 5 backing up right now, and it's currently going through right now, and I should hopefully have that edited and out before tomorrow morning, so that'll be January 27th. And hopefully that will be out before tomorrow morning. Because tomorrow morning, as soon as this video out, which is Movie Chat 22, I believe. Yeah, 22. I am going to do at least an hour-long playthrough of Batman Arkham Knight. I don't know if I'll cut it or not. Depends on how I edit the video. But anyway, almost a whole hour of playing Arkham Knight. And now I'm not going to play with the original armor, so I'm kind of trying to skip through this real quick for y'all. Would y'all choose, in the comment section, would y'all rather have the Batman 3 or Justice League 3000 skin, or the Adam West 60 skin? Personally, I want to try out the 60 skin first, just to see how that looks. Because we've all seen the armor from Arkham Knight, so I want to try out the skins. And one day, I really want to get the Christian Bale Batman skin, and then the Flashpoint, and then the along with BVS and Batman Beyond. I love the Batman Beyond skin. But anyway, I've only got 3 phones that I record everything I have on, so it's a little difficult to get videos out as quick as I want to make them. Because tonight, I can only do one Duck Dynasty video. I wanted to spit out 2, but unfortunately, my phones only back up so quickly. It takes hours for them to back up. Like right here, I'm not going to back this one up. I'm uploading it straight to YouTube so I can get the URL. And it's been about an hour now, and it's only 15% uploaded. It should be uploaded within about 2 hours or so. So, there's that. But, anyway guys, other than gaming videos and all that we're doing, I'm going to get back to Battlefront 2 as well. I'm going to try and get out at least in a week 2 Duck Dynasty videos, 1 Arkham Knight video, and 1 Battlefront video is what I'm attempting to do per week. Depending, I might do them sparse every 2 weeks. Every week we'll get at least 2 Duck Dynasty playthroughs until we're done with the series, and then maybe 1 or 2 Battlefront videos a week. And then on the next week, at least 2 Arkham Knight videos per week. And that's what I'm looking at doing. But anyway, guys, besides all that, also be sure to check out a video I'm going to upload soon. Of course, my birthday is on the January 28th, and I am going to be working on a live stream for that day, and maybe doing a live Bean Boozled Challenge reaction with the new flavor, Centipede. So, we're going to be doing all that. Have you ever seen any of our Bean Boozled Challenge? I recommend checking out the one where I ate the spoiled milk one. Let's just say that's the most disgusting thing I've ever put in my mouth. I highly recommend looking at that video. It's pretty funny. In the front, it has the thumbnail animal abuse. So, in the context of the video, it makes sense. However, there are comments that thought it was a poor choice of words for a thumbnail. Of course, back then I couldn't change my thumbnail. I think I can now, so I might go back and change that. But anyway, I'm also trying to work on a video getting out now. I'm trying to get the video and photos from my family members who recorded that day. Of the day I went out to the Mexican restaurant for my birthday. Had, fun and craziness. So gotta get that all in there. I had the sombrero on. And did a toy hunt. So I'm trying to get that video out as quickly as possible. We saw some Rampage figures, Marvel Legends, different movies. And of course I showed off when I got Arkham Knight. So, moving on. 4 minutes. Kind of a catch-up on everything, guys. So anyway, I am a huge fan of HeMan. When I was a kid, the first time I ever watched it, I went into school one day, and a friend of mine brought it in as sort of a movie day thing. Because we bring in movies to watch, I'd usually bring in documentaries, something like that, National Geographic. He brought in HeMan one day, and we watched. It was the Cosmic Comet episode. And I remember just loving this show. And on the car ride home, my mom was like, "Well, we watched HeMan." My mom was very critical of the shows we used to watch when we were kids. Very critical. We and still aren't allowed most shows to watch are SpongeBob and all that. As a kid, we weren't allowed to watch anything with dragons. We couldn't even watch Dragon Tales. Dragon Tales, guys. She's loosened up a lot, though. I'll say that. We've watched the Lord of the Rings movies. But anyway, my dad, I'll give my dad this. Even though he left us and he's a douchebag and... Daddy! But anyway, I'll give him this. He did get me into superheroes, Predator and Alien. Those are some of the fondest memories I remember of my dad. And then HeMan. HeMan, and that was like a love that we kind of shared, was for these kinds of old 80s retro shows, horror, and superheroes. And he kind of went with my mom to let me watch HeMan. And over the years, we kind of were sparse about it, and we would watch it every once in a while, watch HeMan. And I remember when I found out about the New Adventures of HeMan, I watched that for a few episodes, and I absolutely hated that show. The New Adventures of HeMan, hated that one. And then I found out about the 2002 remake series, and I still have that box set of that HeMan. I absolutely love the 2002 remake of HeMan. That expanded on the universe so well, and the stories were so compelling, and the characters were done so perfect. I absolutely love the 2002 show. I almost recommend it more than the 80s version because of how they expanded upon the story. But of course, the 80s cartoon is the classic. My favorite character from that was always, well, I always like Orko, but I always also like Man-at-Arms. You know, I love that show. And for years, me and my sister have been fans of HeMan, and they also like She-Ra. I mean, I go in there and the girls are like, we want to watch a cartoon, and we almost always agree, let's watch HeMan. I also love other shows like the Galaxy Rangers and Brave Star. I actually like Brave Star more than HeMan, but that's for another video. I'd love for a live-action Brave Star movie. That would be so awesome. But anyway, not many people have been talking about it. Well, we haven't gotten a lot of information about this, and frankly, I hardly remember the director of the new HeMan movie, or Masters of the Universe. Of course, it's more of a reboot from the Dolph Lundgren version. HeMan reboot. Director. If I remember right, and they've already got a special effects advisor on it as well, due to leaked images that we've gotten from the production agency. And they've already got some concept art leaking out for the different aircrafts that are going to be in Eternia. And hold on one second. David Goyer, who is the director of this new of the Masters of the Universe reboot, along with Carlos Wante, who he worked with Ridley Scott on a few movies. He worked on Alien Covenant and Prometheus, so he's got good taste in artistry, and his design of especially aircrafts designs make them otherworldly and almost alien. So you got a good set of shoulders on there. And we haven't really gotten a lot of information for a long, long time. I remember way back in like 2015, there was a leaked image of Battle Cat, and that was like the biggest thing for the moment. And then we got a little while ago that Skeletor wouldn't be the main enemy of the first one, and frankly I agree with that. I think it'd be cool if we got more of a Masters of Evil movie and led on to Skeletor, or maybe even start off with the snake people. I can't remember the true name of them for right now. Serpent people? I'm pretty sure it's just the snake people. Oh, I can't remember. All I remember is King Hiss. What's his name? Ratlor. Wasn't it Ratlor? Oh, darn. Was it Cobra Khan? Cobra Khan, I think. Yeah, Cobra Khan. I got Cobra Khan toy. I got a Cobra Khan toy around here somewhere, too. But anyway, so frankly, I think it's a good idea. You could even, I would love to have a Master Universe storyline that led from all their enemies into reuniting him with She-Ra, and they both fight Hordak. That would be amazing. And frankly, I'm kind of really ticked off they never explored that in the 2002 animated series, like bring back She-Ra and Hordak, because Hordak showed up in a few episodes of that HeMan show. And you always kind of wonder, like, man, why didn't they add She-Ra? That would have been so cool. But, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, like, what would be their cast for a Master of the Universe reboot. So I kind of went through and did my own little cast. And frankly, I know this is going to be a live-action movie, but I almost wish that it was going to be animated, because it's from Sony. Their animation's really good. Look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I still haven't seen the trailer yet. I saw the, like, teaser clip. I haven't seen the official trailer yet, though. I gotta react to it. I mean, you look at that style of animation. They have good graphics. You look at their gaming graphics. They're really good. But when it comes to pulling stuff into live action, story-wise, it almost never works out. Ghostbusters. Baby Driver is really good. I like Baby Driver. Let's see. The Amazing Spider-Man movies, especially Spider-Man 2. And you're wondering, they got a mixed bag of crazy coming on right now. As to what could be good and what could be not. I'm personally not incredibly excited for Venom, but I want to see what it's going to end up being. Because I love the character, but I'm very disappointed that we're not going to get him in the MCU because of this. Silver and Black's a good example. No one wants this movie. I honestly, if it was the MCU and they said, yeah, we're going to make a movie about Black Cat and Silver Sable, I'd be like, well, if you throw in Black Widow, you basically got your Shield City Siren kind of movie. You got basically that. Let's be honest. If you threw Silver Sable and Black Cat and then Black Widow into a movie, that is probably going to be the highest grossing movie of whatever year you release it on. Just for that. Just for the appeal of that. That would probably be the highest grossing Marvel movie of all time. Probably even outbeating Deadpool or Infinity War. And I'm not even kidding. But stop talking about Sony. I'm going to talk about them more in a future video. This was sort of my cast. If we're doing live action, this is who I'd choose. I'm going to go from... I chose 10 characters. 10 characters who I think would basically be for the franchise. That's not including side characters like, say, Mechanic or Buzz-Off or Ram Man. Although Ram Man would be like the next character I would choose to cast, and maybe probably John Cena's like the ultimate kind of guy I would think would be perfect for Ram Man. I don't know, maybe. And then, Merman, Beastman, Triclops, let's see, Trapjaw, Whiplash, Clawful, Mossman. Mothman's a good guy, though. Evil Seed. Just going on. But basically, I'm going to start with number 10, which would be the Sorceress. And now, I wanted to look for more of a diverse cast, but not overdo it, you know what I mean? I like diversifying the cast and doing it in a smart way. And if it can't be done in the right way that I can think it can be done, I'll just drop it. But I think Vanessa Williams would be a good Sorceress. Personally, I was looking at all different kinds of actors. I looked at Asian, black, and then white. Frankly, my favorite choice was Vanessa Williams. I think she has the look, and I've seen very few of her stuff. My mom used to watch Ugly Betty back in the day. I can't even remember. I can't believe I remember that. So I think... she's been in scarce stuff. I think she could maybe pull it off. I think she, for some reason, I got a feeling like she could pull off Sorceress for some reason. Next is Evil Lyn. And Evil Lyn, of course, is one of my favorite, animated villains of all time. I've just always liked the character. especially in the remake series. I thought her story was pretty compelling. And I chose Anjay Trevo. I forget her full name. I forget. She was Fiora in Man of Steel. Crazy chick that hurls a semi at him. And personally, watching that movie made me think, I think she's perfect for Evil Lyn. I got that Evil Lyn feel watching Man of Steel that whole time. Just being honest with you. So personally, I think she'd be my first choice to play as Evil Lyn. Next is Orko. Frankly, there's not a ton of voice actors I can think of. I mean, almost a lot of voice actors could pull off a compelling Orko and make him comedic and, I guess, charming in a way and funny. And that's all you really need for Orko. And frankly, Orko needs to be in this movie. Orko is just one of those classic animated characters that you never forget. He's like the ultimate sidekick in some ways. So next would be, and I would go with any kind of voice actor. I can't pinpoint any specifically, because I don't really know a bunch of like cartoony, you know what I mean? I'm more into serious animated voice actors. However, many can pull it off. Go for more the kitty, retro, how he sounded in the old series and even in the animated series 2002 version. Or even bring back him from the 2002 version. What's his name who voiced Orko back then? I think he could, if he's probably still alive. That's only 16 years ago. So he's probably still alive. Next is Queen Marina. And of course you gotta have the Queen in the HeMan movie. And personally, I chose Annabelle Willis. And of course she was recently in the Mummy movie. She was in Annabelle 2. And not Annabelle 2, the original Annabelle. And she was in both those movies. And frankly, I don't think they used her to the best of their abilities in the Mummy. But I think she could probably pull off being Princess or Queen Marina. It's not specifically a hard job. I mean, Queen Marina hasn't really done... She doesn't really do a lot. She's more just the supporting mother or queen or wife to King Randor or Prince Adam or just her people in general. But she still has a commanding presence when around everyone. Then next, of course, is King Randor, and I'm pretty sure he's worked with Sunny before. He's actually working with him now, and I think people are going to end up liking my choice for who I chose as King Randor. Tom Hardy. I mean, who else? As the warrior father of Prince Adam, father of HeMan. Tom Hardy is King Randor. I mean, it's Tom Hardy. You can't go wrong. Prince Adam, are you coming? That was not the best Bane impression. That was pathetic, overly pathetic. Number 3 on the list, and now this is the best voice actor I can imagine to play a Skeletor. Because let's be honest, you're not making him the prosthetic mask again. We're not doing that again. We are not doing that again, man. Sadly, I can't remember the actor who played a Skeletor in the original Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren, but he's going to be CGI, guys. He's going to have the skull, his eyes are going to glow red, something like that. Because I always liked that effect that he had in the 2002 animated series when his eyes glue when he was really mad or something like that. I love that version. I herald that show a bit too much. But anyway, this is my cast for Skeletor. Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself. You can't tell me that when you look at any voice actor who could do it perfectly, Robert Englund. And I can guarantee you he'd take this job. I'm almost sure he'd take the job. My mom actually said Jim Carrey, which maybe, but no, Robert Englund is my favorite fan pick for Skeletor, man. I mean, I just think he'd be perfect. He could get the evil, cackling laugh. He sounds like Skeletor when I think of it. I can picture Robert Englund as Skeletor. And, I forgot where I was going there. I mean, Freddy Krueger, man. Freddy Krueger as Skeletor. Probably one of the most awesome things I can ever think of. Number 3 is Man-at-Arms. And Man-at-Arms is a character, because he's my favorite character in the Man of Steel, or not Man of Steel, Master of the Universe storyline, or it's getting late, guys. I'm losing focus. Ultimately, I had 3 actors in line. I thought maybe Sylvester Stallone at one point, but I thought that's like the last person on the list I would choose. Even though I like Sylvester Stallone, my other choice, my top choice, is Tom Selleck. I don't know if he would do it. I think he's retired now, so I don't know if he would come back to do a sci-fi series. But ultimately, I think I just picture Tom Selleck as Man-at-Arms. So Duncan, I forget his full name. I remember his part name is Duncan. But, however, I did have another idea. And I actually just got this idea today because I was writing this list down like days ago. And if I put a mustache on him, and I think it would work. I think this would work. He's young. He's a younger actor, and he's one of my favorite actors, and that is Bryan Cranston. And he's in the MonsterVerse. I think he'd be more open to playing Man-at-Arms in the reboot. The more I think about it, the more I would rather have Bryan Cranston than Tom Selleck. Bryan Cranston is now my top pick for Man of Steel, or dadgummit, Man-at-Arms. He is my top pick, man. So number 2 is Teela, and Teela, she can be played by most good actresses, but specifically I look for a natural redhead for the instance, because I mean, if you went with anyone else who's a really good actor, you could always put on a wig. But my choice was Sophie Turner. And of course, she's Jean Grey in the X-Men movies. She's in Game of Thrones. I've seen a bit of her acting. I think when given a good script, she could pull it off. I just think that Fox has handled her character poorly. I think I've seen her some other stuff too, but ultimately, I think she could be an okay Teela. It's hard to say, though, because I feel other actors might be able to carry that act further, but ultimately, she's the one I chose at the moment. Because the only other redhead I can think of, which I don't really want her in the part, would be maybe Bella Thorne. And no, I don't want Bella Thorne as Teela, man. But anyway, number 1, that is HeMan / Prince Adam. Now, I honestly believe they gotta be 2 different actors. So, as young Prince Adam, this was tough. Because there's very few younger actors I could look at as playing young Prince Adam. You look at Tom Holland, but frankly, I think he's gonna end up being more like the Rock situation, where they're putting him into everything. He's Spider-Man. They're putting him in Uncharted. He's in other stuff now. So I'd go for someone a little next in line. I thought Nick Robinson, Jurassic World, he's in that new game movie. I forget what it's called. But I just don't think he could pull it off. And I don't think Tom Holland could pull off it perfectly either. I think, it's really tough going through different actors. You got the one dude from Maze Runner that can maybe do it. I forget his name. But ultimately, my top choice, which is the choice I've chosen for a long time, is Josh Hutcherson. I think it's really difficult because I'm not an overly big fan of Josh Hutcherson. And I keep bringing in another actor, and I keep forgetting him on who could play Prince Adam again. It's really difficult to choose the perfect HeMan / Prince Adam. They have to work fluidly to be the perfect versions of that single character. 1 second. So I keep forgetting who I keep meaning to say. But anyway, let's get straight to the main casting of HeMan himself, the most powerful man in the universe. And this is ultimately really hard. It's hard to get a good actor who has at the same time the right body structure, I'm going to say. Because ultimately, I think the movie would be best served if it was completely animated and you had voice actors. I think that would be the best choice of action, but of course we know it's not. It's going to be live action. So, personally, it'd be difficult because he's in the DC universe, and ultimately, the best person I could think of, is Jason Momoa. Ultimately, I think if he handled with a little more serious of a tone, but I think he could also pull it off because he's got that little bit of a kid side to him, kind of like how HeMan can be that sometimes, since, you know, he's of course Prince Adam. He can be that cocky, that just had that cockiness to him when facing Skeletor, but yet that seriousness. Ultimately, he was also Conan, so ultimately I think he would be my top choice to play as HeMan if they could ever get him out of the DCU to do it. And ultimately, guys, what do you think of that top 10 casting? Personally, that's my favorite of who I'd pick to choose to play in the Masters of the Universe, and that's not counting so many other characters in the lore. But what do y'all think? I think it would work. I think this cast would kind of work. It's just really, I just can't set my mind on who to play as a young Prince Adam. I really can't. So, this video has gone on long enough, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for the Arkham Knight video coming tomorrow morning and the Dark Dynasty playthrough coming soon. Ultimately, I really cared about this video. I really want to get this out. And like I said, I don't want to really do a video when I don't feel like doing it, especially, or even if the information needs to come out right then. Like, there's a lot of information that I gotta compile into Jurassic Chat 39. So, ultimately, I'm still glad I covered the HeMan story, because I'm a big HeMan fan, and I want this movie to succeed, even if it's with Sony. And I'm really mixed about it, because at the same time I think it's gonna be rushed. It's gonna be rushed. They lose the rights in 2019. We're probably gonna get this movie in before that in 2019, or at least 2020 by the latest. That's by the time we're gonna get the movie. And they are going to slam everything into this movie. I can almost guarantee you that Skeletor will be the main enemy. Sony's going to force him into that to sell the toys, sell the movie. They know people want to come to a He-Man movie to see him fight Skeletor, his arch nemesis. But ultimately, I think the story would be served well and much better if he had other villains to fight, as he's first starting off as He-Man, then lead into Skeletor, then lead into his other biggest rivals, like King Hiss and the Snake People, and then eventually maybe have him meet his twin sister She-Ra, and the two of them fight Hordak. So what do you guys think of this casting? I personally like it. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. And let's hit that 1,300 subscriber mark.